Hello, everyone. Happy Time Change Monday. How's everyone doing? By the way, if you are overseas, that's why we're starting. Didn't change time. That's why time has changed. So this will keep moving forward until we fall back. I'm tired. I can't stand time changes. So I don't know why we have them. Can somebody explain that to me why we still have it? At least Arizona doesn't change time, but everybody else still does. Yeah, good morning, John. Uh, cha- I can't even think this morning. Change, pain in the ass Monday. Yes, time change, pain in the ass Monday. Agreed. Good morning, Sterling. Thank you for putting in the news. We'll see if Japan changes their normalization policy and what they've been doing with their pegging. We will see how that plays out. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Martinez. I know Trump was on CNBC chatting away. Redfin reports asking rents climbed 2% in February, biggest gain in over a year. And remember, with the gas run up in February, what was it, 4.6%? Inflation's not going away. So, everything's again priced for perfection and beyond. Bitcoin keeps marching. So that's where we sit. They cut it to 218. Good morning. Can we cover? Yeah, we can look at BA. Yes, we can. So good morning, Anissa. I have not moved yet. It's in April. I move in April, middle of April. So you won't see live streams while I'm moving. By the way, all right, we have a busy week once we can get through Time Change Monday. Just consumer inflation expectations today and some bill auctions and note auctions, unless there's a tail event, nothing big there. Tomorrow, big day. We have CPI, core inflation, so it's coming out early. Is this still? Hold on. What is these times are where is it? There we go. I have to change that. There we go. That's better. All right. Yeah, it's only UTC -5 now. Sorry about that. I was like, why is that time off? All right, because we had to change time. Ugh. CPI tomorrow, 7:30 Central. What else we have? Wednesday's just really the crude numbers. Thursday's PPI and jobless claims. And then Friday's the preliminary consumer sentiment numbers and inflation expectations. It's sort of a quiet week, except tomorrow can really rock the markets potentially. I mean, expected to have core inflation rate month over month still at 0.3. And that's still 3.6% annualized. Core inflation rate year over year, 3.8. So we'll have to see it ticks down a bit, but that's way off the 2%. So let's just see how that goes. What else we have? Pretty much, we had the huge reversal day in NVIDIA on Friday with a lot of the chips. Now it's going to be interesting to see the secondary reaction in NVIDIA. We'll have to take a look at that, but the rest of the chips selling off in unison, still down a little more from that big reversal on Friday. A lot of techs getting hit. Apple, little bounce there. Meta, down. So Apple and Google, which have been the couple of the very weak ones, a little bounce there this morning. Lilly pulling back. Groups, technology leading it on the way down. Only utilities, real estate, and consumer defensive are slightly positive this morning. So that's where we sit. So going into CPI Tuesday, still 4 rate cuts on the table, priced in by the market. It's going to have to see how this shifts tomorrow, if it does. And fear and greed, we're finally back out of extreme greed, just into the full center of greed, not even to neutral yet. In terms of earnings, we got Oracle after the close today. That's one of the bigger ones this week. I'm seeing what else is Adobe on Thursday afternoon. We're really winding down in earnings, so not a lot that's really going to be market moving. I'm still going to pay attention to Dollar Tree because that's interesting from my perspective, from the people who don't have as much money, and see how they are faring. So, but there's not a lot that's going to really market move. So let's take a look. We finally got that big spike up and reversal day on Friday. Still in the rotation zone today. Key level I'm watching on a closing basis, 51.75.25. We close below there. Shifts the probabilities to a continued pullback, at least to retest the bottom of the rotation zone, which is around 51.35 at this moment. So the levels, if we start breaking below 51.75 on the open, then really I'm just using the harmonics at this point. Then 51.58, which you also see the support shelf back from Wednesday. They line up really nicely. Then about 51.42 to 51.44 is a very key support. That's the 87.5 retracement and this other little support wedge from last Tuesday. Below that, 51.26, and if 51.26 were to give out, then I drop, first of all, the retracements back here and start watching for 5,096. So those are the key levels. I'm just going to leave it on these in the short term. I'm not expecting those levels to get taken out, especially the major low from Tuesday, March 5th to get taken out today, with CPI being tomorrow, but always got to prepare for any outcome. There is no real bottoming pattern yet, just going into the open. In order to get more bullish, we have to get back above about 51.92 in order to shift things a little more bullish. So 51.92 area will be my key resistance area going into the open. It's really 51.92 to about 51.95. So that's going to be my key resistance zone. If we go in shift, remember every day is not a trend day. Actually, most days aren't trend days. If we go into choppier mode, that's going to be my key resistance area. Good morning, Heinrich. Why didn't do this at 8 and wait? Change for, huh? Why aren't I doing this at 8, no wait time? The only reason you might think it's changed is because of the time change. Do I think CPI? I think it will be higher than expected. I think inflation will be slightly higher than expected. But we will see. We shall see. Everyone, please help us get these videos out for people to see. YouTube is suppressing our reach. Yes, they really are. This channel's been nuked. This channel's been nuked. So we're just going to keep going. We'll probably switch to something else after the move. I'm not up for taking that on right now. Now, NASDAQ. Remember, this has been waning momentum. You can see it here. It's really been waning, pushing up and reversing at the harmonic on Friday, dropping and closing just above the 62.5 and now following through almost down to 87.5. Still going to be watching. Going in the open is about 18,200. And then we're really 18,150 is very key. Below 18,150, we do have a potential double top. The confirmation point is if it trades below 18,082.75. If it closes below there, it would officially trigger. To the upside in the NASDAQ. Any rally, my major resistance area is back around the 62.5% area. You know, about 18,295 to about 18,287 is my key resistance area. Above there, 18,355, then 18,423. There is no, this is not a double bottom. It's just stair-stepping lower with a little waning momentum. Would I be surprised to see a bounce going into the cash open? No, I wouldn't. But really, this 62.5, you can see how this was prior support, broken, and retested multiple times with resistance. So that's going to be the major resistance area I'm watching going into the open. The Dow. The Dow, no close below the 62.5. That's where I'm watching 38,998 on today's closing basis. The major resistance area is coming up right around 39,200. The major support is coming in at 38,842. The minor support is coming in about 39,000. Russell, after the spike through the top of the channel, but the close still below it. Remember, watch where things close. You can always spike beyond channels or any lines, even rotation zones. But that's key. 2073 is key support, and then roughly about 2061. So those are the key areas right there. Hold on one second. This other thing has to come up. So we have really about 2061 to 2067 is the major support area, then 2073 to 2074. VIX, again, VIX has been stair-stepping higher, spiking up. This is mainly due to the CPI print tomorrow. Increase in volatility. So going to watch for this to somewhat stay elevated, but that does not mean we have to drop today. It's mainly elevated because of the CPI information coming out tomorrow. If CPI comes in better expected, you'll see this reverse very quickly. If the markets sell off, then you'll continue to see the ramp, but you really see this increase in this stair-stepping higher. I mean, this is a pretty interesting channel at this point that's been forming since the lows. I mean, look at how well defined this is. Look at how well defined that is. So we'll be watching on a spike up around 1640, 1650 for tomorrow. The DAX also looking very toppy. If this does bounce, we could get a little head and shoulders top. The key breakdown point, though, is roughly this, still the 17.6. The notes, no close beyond the 62.5 yet. So no close beyond that just, oh boy, hold on. Gotta take the back adjust off. There we go. No close beyond that just yet. So that's a 111.27. That's going to be real interesting going into tomorrow also, because the notes with the rally and the notes have been dropping the yields. You see here catching at this 50% level. Because there's not been a stop raise on the double. So watching for this to actually start getting some more traction, but any bounce takes it into the declining rotation zone. Also watching to see if this sets up a percent B buy going into tomorrow. The 10-2s, not yet invalidating the double bottom, but this, is going to be interesting again tomorrow morning. Dollar index has a potential percent B buy if it closes above Friday's high for a bounce play only, because it's against the rotation zone. Cycles at the bottom and trying to get out of very oversold condition. Crude has confirmed the lower probability double top, but not triggered. It would still have to close below 77.52, and that's a lower probability. We went through the reasons behind that last week. I'm really watching if it pulls back. First key level is about 76.75. What else do we have? Gold. Some selling going in here. I'm watching for some kind of pullback in gold, or at least a pause play. Cycles at the top, very overbought. The major support back in gold is 2150. Silvers, we went through, completed the double bottom last week, so there's nothing else to talk about. Against key resistance, it still has to close above 2470.5 to continue the probabilities to shifting higher in the short term. The yen, trying now to put in some kind of stair-stepping bottom, but really has to reverse above 147.20. 147.20 is key. It's coming into a very key support area, so I'm going to be watching for a bounce there and possibly a percent B buy setup. There isn't one yet because we have not closed today. Euro, no close above the 62.5, so going to be watching for a pullback in this with that bounce in the dollar. Spiders pulling back straight to the 50% harmonic on Friday. The key closing area today to watch for is 509.90. We're trading 510.50. On the gap fill, magnet price would be to Friday's close 511.72. Above there, you got 513.23. Below 509.90, my level is 508.25. And then we have 506.50 area if we especially close below 509.90 going in tomorrow. Just use the harmonics. The Qs did close below the 62.5 on Friday. So 437 30 area, and then you're looking at 435.50. On any bounce would be to the closing price on Friday, 439.02, and then the 62.5 harmonic is 439.27, so that would be major resistance. Above there, the next level is 441.15. Bitcoin, we had a slight earlier pause at the little harmonic area, now marching higher. The next key target in that is all the way up here at 75,675. The major support is 68,200 to about 68,300. Let's just look at NVIDIA real quick. NVIDIA big outside key reversal day. This is going to be interesting to watch. Again, on the downside for continued pullback, needs a close still below 847 area. On any bounce, I'll watch for the secondary reaction. The little micro levels that have to be passed, at least if this stays down here to get to retest at least the highs from Friday area, would be a close back above 933. So those will be the two levels I'm watching. 933, and again, not necessarily for today, and then 847. Let's go to Boeing. They can't get out of the news with all these. Maybe they went down too far down the DEI rabbit hole instead of worrying about plane safety. So, in the short term, it's closed below the 62.5. It's paused at that 75. The next major level, besides this gap fill, which looks to be taken out today, we're going to, probabilities has now shifted to 187.88. And then you have a return to possibly the lows from back in October. Let's just see where the forward harmonics give us right now. So again, look at that, confirming the 87.5. So you have a cluster there, and then I go from 176.50 to 179.27. The major resistance is now 200. So it's gapping down to 194.50 today. So keep that in mind. Now the critical level for Boeing still is 170.97. You close below there. If it takes out the lows from October, then watch out. 151 area, then 132 area potentially. So there's the analysis there. Tesla, which gapped up on Friday and then reversed quickly. So confirming but not triggering the double bottom. You can see it wasn't triggered at all. So that is off the table because now it is triple bottom, which slightly favors the continuation pattern. So on any further breakdown in Tesla, it's still 162.84 as the next target area. What else do we have? We got Boeing. Let's see who else is here. Hey, Pep, thank you. Good morning, Jacob. How does who trade if they live in Honolulu? I don't live in Honolulu. I know traders out there, they just get up early. They get up early. Hey, good morning, Mark. We did Boeing, let's see, KLG. Kellogg. Let's KLG. WK Kellogg. Really, huh? Let me see here. Again, 1530 area. If it gets above there, you're looking at 1675, but that's the key area you need to look at. The key support area is roughly coming in. The major support area is right around here. Right around 1375 to 14 bucks. If it loses that, I'd start watching for the bigger pullback right there. But it's got to really, I mean, if you start getting close about 1533, my target area would be roughly, remember, there's a partial gap fill to 16, and then you have 1675. Without this daylight savings, we would still be in 2022. How does that work, Coco? There you go. We got that Kellogg for you. All right, then we have mRNA. Oh, and this weekly. Would I try? I would use actually the flat neckline, so you're still a fair ways off. As you see, I don't look at this stock that often. Let's get all this off. I would just use yeah, it's tradable. It's tradable. But you're really going to need the close above about 115.50. Use the flat neckline. I would not use a down-sloping neckline off that based off further research I've done. Further testing and research, I'd use the flat neckline. So that would give the targets where is it? Boy, I'm sorry, I'm just tired. Your major target area, by the way, if you're going to try to play this, and again, this is not even triggered yet, it might not trigger, would be this area. Look at where the 62.5 is. Between the 50 and 62, you know, there's a reversal zone. The second target is right at the weekly 200. So this would be a very key target area. Also, you have the highs from back in April of last year. Now, again, you need a close above roughly 116. I'd look at 116 as the closing price. So that's where we sit right there. Other than that, coin, by the way, closed above the 62.5, so 284.91 and then 326.91 are the next key levels. Now, it has not closed above the 62.5 from the all-time high for all you, because of the, so you're looking again in the short term, in order to really, really shift the probabilities higher, 280.82. Let's peek back at the markets. I'm leaning towards a choppier day today. Trading against key resistance right now, going into the open. This resistance area, 51.78. So we got to pop above there. And then you're back at that 51.91 to about 51.95 area. The support is still 51.58. And then below that, 51.42. So nothing's changed with those. My man, time to buy U.S. Japanese. I am watching, I said earlier, with the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. I am especially watching if today sets up with a %B buy. Then tomorrow I'll be watching today's high. Other than that, it's waning momentum at a very key support level. So I'm watching for some kind of bottoming move here. So yes, but it's not a buy yet from my perspective. Might be from yours, depending on what you use for buy signals. It's just not, it has not done enough confirmation for me yet. Still waiting for a higher probability trigger, because again, it's at oversold, but it can get more oversold as that cycle bottoms, but nothing is just yet. We might have it by tomorrow. So that's where we sit. Not seeing anything else. Hopefully I'll be, again, I've been up since like 3:45, so I'm just very, very tired. And I will hopefully be in better form tomorrow. Thanks for sticking with me again. Again, please like the channel. Please, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. I mean, I think last month we got a total of 7 subscribers. That's how suppressed this thing's getting. So, I mean, I think the content's still decent. But if If you think the content's gone downhill, please give me some feedback. With that, I shall talk to everyone tomorrow. Have a wonderful trading day. Remember, CPI tomorrow, 1 hour before the cash opens, 7:30 Central. With that, I will talk to everyone later. Bye for now.